Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Coco McMillan Show. You may have seen her in Morocco, New York City, Los Angeles, California, Detroit, Philadelphia, Chicago, Las Vegas, Nevada. One of the background singers for Mickey Howard and the late, great Gerald Levert. Ladies and gentlemen, your host, the beautiful, the wonderful, the spectacular, Miss Coco McMillan.
Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to the Coco McMillan Show, where we make it happen and where we bring some amazing flavor to the virtual talk show circuit. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. We are here today to have a wonderful show set up for you today. I am so excited. I'm so glad that you decided to join me this afternoon. Again, this is the Coco McMillan Show, where we feature feature our national and our local musicians and recording artists. This platform is designed for you. It's designed to help promote your product, the business owners, social network organizations, physical and mental health awareness. The show allows guests the opportunity to discuss their career goals, their product, their challenges, new opportunities, and awareness. Again, this is where we make it happen. We want you to bring your expertise and your knowledge to the show. So if you want to be a part of the show, please contact me at Coco McMillan Music at gmail.com. Again, that's Coco McMillan Music at gmail.com. And again, I'm on all of the social media platforms. Sean Coco McMillan or at Coco McMillan 7 or on Instagram, Sean Coco McMillan Music. Listen, I'm everywhere, so you can reach me. We want you to bring your knowledge and your expertise to the show because, you know, it could bless millions of souls out there. As I said before, your testimony is for someone else. So bring that expertise to the show and let's help someone. You know, iron sharpens iron. What you know, let's share it with someone else. Can you do that for me? So contact me if you want to be a part of the show. We are streaming live on Facebook, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on the IBM Network TV station, and also Roku. So listen, we have some platforms that, you know, that you can be a part of, that you can get your information out there, the awareness. This is where we make it happen. And my guest this evening, oh my God, I cannot wait to bring them on. We have a great show that's lined up for you today. So listen, while you're in the chat, go ahead and put in there where you're watching from. Let me know that you're on. Listen, go ahead and text someone and let them know, yo, I'm about to spend the next hour with my girl, Coco McMillan. So come on in, let me know where you're watching from and let me know that you are here. Again, I'm so glad that you decided to join me. That video that we just played, that is In Front. I got a lot of questions about that last week. That's the group In Front that I'm a part of. We are the former background singers for the late Gerald Levert. We came together after 16 years to do a dedication to Gerald. The first video that we released was entitled Never Another You, special dedication to Gerald Levert. And this is our second video, Love Like This. So I hope that you like it, you enjoying it. I've been getting a lot of feedback about it. So, hey, that's In Front. Sharina Wynn, Tia Stewart, and Stacy Richardson, and myself, produced by the great Herb Middleton. And the video was created by Christopher Bruce from King Creative in Wilmington, Delaware. So I want to make sure I gave you that information about In Front and Love Like This in case you are wondering. So listen, guys. This evening, we have a great show that's lined up for you today. I'm just going to go ahead and jump in and get started with. We have two special guests with us today. And you can tell I'm so excited. I was going to say it's going to be lit, but my girls got on me last week about that word. I was like, we don't even say that anymore. So I don't know what the new word is. If you know it, go ahead and put it in the chat. Keisha, do you know? Because Cornisha was telling me, Coco, that's not it. So let me know the new word that we're using now. But anyway, I want to introduce my first guest this evening, a good friend from Shaw University, Anaya Gibbs. I had a chance to reconnect with her a couple of weeks ago at the Amtrak station in Cary. And I'm so glad that I did. Again, her name is Anaya Gibbs. She's a native of Fuquay-Varina. She's a mother of 3 children, and she loves singing, dancing, and traveling. She received her bachelor's and master of social work degrees from the North Carolina Central University. However, before attending NCCU, she spent 2 years at Shaw University and was a member of the gospel choir, and that's where I know her from. She's currently the team lead for an organization in Durham, North Carolina, where they provide intensive home service for child at risk of out of placement due to problematic behavior. Her desire is to create pathways to success for the children that she served, providing them with skills and techniques which will help them improve their level of functioning, which is so important. She's also a member of the Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. Please help me welcome my friend, Anaya Gibbs.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hi, did I get it right?
You got it right. You got it right. Yes, you
Let me
did.
tell you, it has been a day. Let me ask you, how have your day been, Anaya?
My day has been busy but good. It has
It's
been a busy day, but it's been overall good. I was able to stay at home and work from home today. So there was no traveling for me today. So that always is a good thing.
look, that's more gas for tomorrow, right?
Exactly.
Look, I'm just keeping it real. I looked
That's true.
when I filled my car up, I looked at the tape. I was like, what? It is absolutely, oh my God. But we're not going to get into that. But listen, I am so glad that you decided to join me
Yes.
today.
Yes.
Um, you heard me read some of your bio, but I want you, in your own words, to tell our viewers today just a little bit about Anaya and what you do and what you're going to be doing in the future and how your job is so important today in the
Yes.
mental health awareness. So tell me about that.
Yes, yes. Well, of course, right now I am currently a team lead for an organization in Durham where I oversee a team of 3 people, and we provide intensive in-home services for youth who are at risk of out-of-home placement
Okay.
with problematic behaviors. A lot of it is verbal aggression, physical aggression. We have some kids who run away simply because they are not able to cope and handle today's stressors. And I will say, given the whole onset of COVID, we have seen a rise in depression. We've seen a
Mm,
rise in anxiety. We've
yeah.
seen a rise in suicidal ideation.
Yeah.
Not only that, but particularly these parents are having challenges being able to raise these children. So
Man.
that is the landscape in which I am responsible for. Now what my goals are, I have so many, to be honest with you, Coco. I need to narrow this thing down. I need to streamline it, right? Because I know I can't save the world, right? So
We can try. We
you
can,
know, I
we can
try.
try.
I try. So my long term, one of my long term goals right now, my credentials is that I'm a licensed clinical social worker associate, which
Okay.
means right now I'm in the field, I'm studying, being supervised so that I can attain my full licensure. So
Mm,
that's my short term goal. My
yes.
short term goal is to attain my full licensure, which it should be within the next year or two. So
Okay.
that's short term. Long term, I have been researching just different facilities that would serve this population, right? But
Right.
I haven't identified the area that will have the greatest need, because right now all areas need mental health services, right?
Right.
We
Right.
all we all need that. But I know it's going to be something pertaining to children, because that's where my niche is, which I kind of fell into it, to be honest with you. Back in 2004,
Mhm.
I became responsible for manage a group home for adolescent males, right?
Okay.
Novice, didn't have any experience whatsoever. But I was like,
Look at
okay,
God.
I'm telling you, I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. So I did that for 4 years. And that really was the catalyst that pushed me to go to school. So that's really how I ended up in this line of work. In this
Wow.
profession, I should say. That's really how it started, because prior to that, I worked in childcare. I was a childcare worker,
Okay.
right? So being responsible for the lives of these young men was
Yes.
challenging. And I'm gonna tell you, honestly, I didn't know what to do.
Wow. Well, so can you tell us like some of the challenges that you were having with these young men, or like what was one of your worst experiences?
Well, for me, I had one who had really kind of threatened me. But he had tried to threaten me, but you have to be able to redirect, right? And you
Hmm.
have to be able to de-escalate these situations, because
Right.
a lot of these children come from environments to where physical violence, verbal violence, it's seen. You have to think about substance abuse, alcohol abuse. They
Right.
come from violent communities. They're hearing gunshots. There's drug activity. There's so many dynamics that we don't even consider,
Right.
right?
Right.
Right? So you have to be able to show them a different way. You have to be able to navigate.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the key. That's the key. So, in doing that, and not only that, giving them a safe place, I am a
Yeah.
huge proponent of creating safe spaces.
Mm.
Because one thing I know that has been proven, that when you make a child feel comfortable, and when you make a child feel that they
Yes.
belong, and you care about them and you love
Yes.
them, it makes your job a little easier. It makes your job a little easier. So I became really, really good at being able to assess what was going on, right? Being
Wow.
able to look at body language, being able to look at verbal cues, non-verbal cues, right? Because
Right.
the one that you have to pay attention to is the non-verbal cues. Because if people popping off and they talking and they, you know, you already know. But imagine if you have a child, you're trying to give them a directive, and all they do is they stare at you in the face.
Wow. Oh my goodness. That is so true. I love the way you said that, especially about, if they popping off, if they popping off, that could be something that they're used to in the home. And then if you come and do the same thing, you're going to get the same reaction.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
so with some of the kids, how do they respond to you when you de-escalate the situation, or when you show them a different scenario of how to approach things? How is their reaction?
Um, their reaction was, for some, it was like, "Uh-oh, she don't play." I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. That was like, she don't play, because I don't.
Look, that
you
shows
know,
you
you,
is sensitive.
you know, So they could do that, but let me tell you what it taught. It taught them a different way, right?
Yeah.
And it also helped me gain respect. Because
Wow.
let me tell you something, Coco. When we first received our boys in the home, there was a social worker, and I will never forget this. There was a social worker who said, y'all getting the bottom of the barrel. And I'm like, why? In my
Wow.
mind, I'm thinking that why would you say these? Why would you say this about these kids?
Right.
And I'm gonna tell you, I took that as a charge. I took that personal,
Yeah.
and I believe there's good in us all. There's
Yes.
good in us all. And let
Yes.
me tell you something. Those young men turned out to be decent young men. They
Yes.
really did. There was one of them. He did get into a little trouble one time. One time. That was
Mhm.
it. The other gentleman, I saw him in the mall some years ago, and I called his name, and he looked around, and he was doing good. He looked good. He was working, had not been incarcerated nowhere in the justice system whatsoever. So I tell, it takes patience, and you have to be able to show these kids who they term is at risk.
That's it.
You have
That's
to
it.
show them a different way.
Yes. Wow. And like you said, um, watching them, observing them, like what is your intake? Because there's so much that's going on right now,
Mhm.
and with the school shootings and you seeing these young children that's doing all these shootings and everything. What is your intake about that with these kids? How can we help our kids?
Wow. What I think is just the inability to cope,
Mm,
the lack of social interaction. Okay.
yeah.
You think about when, of course, this onset of COVID impacted these children in ways that I never would have thought imagined. So you remove their social connection,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Right. So what are they left to do? Be on their phones. What is at their fingertips? Everything.
Social media. Oh my goodness.
Everything. I had a client yesterday. I was asking her about her coping skills. This young girl is about 12 years old. She said, "Oh, I get on this app and I just talk to random people." That's what our children are doing. They are
What?
talking to random people, seeking advice, strangers who they know nothing about. Who knows what that conversation is about,
Oh
right?
my
You
goodness.
know? So they don't have the ability to cope. And, with the whole gun violence thing, I can tie that into some racism as well, right?
Hmm.
We were
Hmm.
just gonna call it what it is. You
Hmm.
have to look at it from a racial aspect as well.
Right.
Again, anger, not knowing how to talk, not knowing how to process, not feeling comfortable.
Yeah.
And the other side is if you do go and try to talk to your mother, your father, a
Yeah.
responsible adult, do they have time to listen?
Wow. There we go. There we go. That part.
Yeah. Do they have time to listen? Do they take the time out to listen? Do
Yeah.
they really understand the severity of what you're going on and what you're experiencing?
Yeah.
And a lot of times, and what I see
Hmm.
is a lot of these homes are being raised by single mothers.
Yeah.
There are no fathers in the home, and that goes for Caucasian and African Americans.
That's right.
The weight of the world is left on the shoulders of these parents, and guess what? The parents don't even have an outlet. So you
Wow.
know what you're gonna do? You're gonna tell Johnny, you take that phone. I'm gonna make sure you keep some data on your phone because I need for you not to bother me.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Anaya, you said it. That is so true. And especially with the single parent moms, when they're working 2 and 3 jobs to try to keep food on the table or to take care of their family, that is more likely the first thing they do. Listen, I'm tired. I need to sleep. Get
Yep,
on your phone.
yep.
Because this is what you see. Of course, when I'm at the train station
Hmm.
all day long. Kids don't have conversations with you anymore. Like,
Hmm.
how we used to, talk if we in the train station.
Yeah,
This is what I see
all the time.
the whole time. And if
Hmm.
you interrupt to them, they give you a look like, don't you see me on my don't you see me on my phone? But it is so true. And
Hmm.
especially during the COVID, after COVID, I think that just kind of took them somewhere because that's all they had was
Hmm.
the social media, their phones, these computers, and then that's what they was learning and talking to random people. I'm just amazed by that
Oh
because
yeah.
a 12-year-old.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let me tell you something, Coco. This thing can run. This whole mental health and dynamics and what it looks like. It can be so deep for
Yeah,
us being in intensive in-home services. I'm gonna focus on that area because the key word in that is intense. It's intensive.
intense.
Okay,
Okay.
intensive. So that means literally about 5 days a week we are in the home. We are interacting with the children. We are doing interventions. We are doing therapy. We are processing. We
Yeah.
are focusing on what their thoughts are, what their emotions are. Right. That's
Hmm.
really mainly what intensive means. And I have had the experience of where parents would actually call team members to parent their child and de-escalate their own child because they are
Wow.
afraid. This is
Yeah.
real. This
Yeah.
happens
Yeah.
every day. They
Yeah.
are afraid
Yeah.
to, for instance, take their child's phone away. They are
Yes.
afraid of doing that.
Yes.
And that
Yes.
was that is so baffling to me. But yet I get it. Why do I understand?
Hmm.
Because the way the system has been designed. The system was designed to protect those that were getting abused. However, the discipline, the line for discipline is so thin that parents just don't know how to even navigate their
Right.
children's lives.
Right. They trying to navigate their own.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. This is like, it's so real. I'm so glad that you're on here discussing it, and I'm sure the viewers have questions, or some questions may pop up in just a second. But I was thinking about something when you were saying. I remember one day sitting in the station, and I think this little boy was 4 years old. He was just running through the station, just knocking down everything, harassing people in the station. When we finally said something to the parent, she says, "Oh, well, come over here and sit down." He says, "No, I'm not going to do that." She didn't say a word. She started back reading her book. When they were leaving out, she was trying to get him to do something, and she told him to stop. Anaya, he hauled off and slapped her
Oh my gosh.
in front of everybody.
Wow.
I was at that point, I was embarrassed for her because she did not know what to do. She didn't
Mm-mm.
chastise, she didn't discipline. She just said, "Don't do that anymore." And then she walked out to get on the train.
Wow.
And I felt bad. I said, because that goes on at home. That
That's
goes
right.
on at home.
That's
So
right.
she don't even know how to process it or what to do. So
Hmm.
what would be your advice? And I know we don't have much time left. I'm gonna have to
Right, right.
bring you back because this is
Right.
some great information. But what would be your advice?
Hmm.
First of all, to the parents
Hmm.
that's having a problematic child or something that's going on and they can't figure it out, and they can't do it on their own. What advice would you give them?
Well, first of all, I would advise them to have psychological testing.
Okay.
Okay. And the way they can do that, they can contact their local social services and they can put them in contact with an agency to just get the child evaluated. So you'll know exactly
Yeah.
what you're working with and what parameters need to be implemented, right? So that's the first thing, right? You get them psychologically tested, have them see, I would have them see like their primary care physician, describe behaviors, things of that nature.
Yeah.
And the next thing would be to reach out to a mental health professional. Okay. Because that mental health professional will work hand in hand with mom to learn how to establish structure,
Mm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
To learn
Mm-hmm.
how to discipline appropriately, right?
Right.
And to learn how to recognize. Again, you remember when I went back and said assess?
Uh-huh.
Being able to assess and recognize behaviors, being able to assess and recognize triggers. Okay.
Wow.
If you see
That's
little
good.
Johnny biting his fingers or patting on the table, something is going on. Something is going on. We have to get back to having conversations, Coco. Like you said, people don't talk anymore.
Right.
We have to have conversations. But the first thing that I recommend, psychological testing, and then from there you can contact your personal primary care physician. From there, seek mental health professional. Seek those services because you need help. And
Yeah.
and real quick, I want to tell people, do not be ashamed. Seeking mental health
There
services
we
does
go.
not mean that you're crazy.
Right.
Seeking mental health services does not mean that you're weak. You know, what I
Yes.
tell people, there is strength in your weakness. It takes
Woo!
someone strong. It takes a strong person to be
Yes.
able to recognize and say, I need help.
Mm,
It really, really
it
does.
does.
It takes a strong person to be able to recognize that. So
Yes.
my mantra is that there is strength in weakness, and I believe that.
Woo! God, you better say. Listen, I'm here with my hands on my hip, like you better say that. Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. And
Oh my
and
God.
I should have done this, but for those who have questions, my email address is my last name, Gibbs
Mhm.
dot Anaya at gmail.com. That's
Yes.
really simple. Gibbs.anaya at gmail.com for anyone who may want to talk with me one on one, for anyone who may need resources, for anyone just that is looking for an outlet. Feel free to contact me and I will do my best to connect them to the services and resources in which they need.
Ha, girl, come on, give me that shawl. You see that shawl? You say yes. Oh my God, I love it. I am so glad. I am so glad that I had a chance to connect with you in the train station that day, and you just kind of brought and Mark just put that information up there too. That's
Thank
great.
you.
Yeah, so guys, you see that her information is running at the bottom of the screen. Her email address is there as well. If you have any questions, I remember when you were standing there and saying, Coco, I'm gonna connect with you on Facebook and send your email by getting on the show. I'm like, why wait and connect? Let's do this thing now. Let's do it. And especially when you said in mental health, because you see so much that's going on,
Yeah.
with kids and adults.
Exactly.
Like you said, don't be embarrassed or ashamed. If you need the help, say, like we have this thing that runs at the train station that said, if you see something, say something.
That's right.
Okay? If you
That's
feel,
right.
say something.
That's right.
Because there are people like Anaya Gibbs out here that can help you and your children. Because we are on this life, on this earth, we have an assignment, we have a
Yes.
journey, and so we need to do everything possible and in excellence,
That's right.
to help ourselves and to make someone better. So thank you so much for
You're
coming
so
on the
welcome.
show, sharing this information. We're definitely going to have you back on here to come back and give us some more nuggets about this. But thank you so much. Thank you
You're
so
so
much for
welcome.
joining me. I appreciate it. But you
My
hang
pleasure.
backstage for just a minute. We're going to come back to you in just a few minutes. Okay.
Okay, sure will.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Yes, I love that. Let me see. Somebody. There's a question. So you may know his brother. He has been in the field in decades. Yusuf Malik Lee.
That name sounds familiar. I can't put a face with it at the moment.
Okay.
I can't connect with that at the
He's
moment.
also the head of the Polaris Club. Okay. All right. So yeah, see, people chiming in. See, they know Curl. Look, that's what I love, because that's why we have this show, for informative, important information. So again, thank you so much, dear. Appreciate
You're so
you.
welcome. You're welcome.
Right.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Yes. Wow, guys. So listen, you heard it from Miss Anaya Gibbs, the information about mental health awareness. If you have any questions for her, any information, if you want to talk to her, again, her information is running at the bottom of the screen. Make sure you contact her. Don't be ashamed. Don't be scared. The information is confidential. Okay? So don't worry about that, but just get the help that you need. So we thank her so much for coming on here, sharing that information. So I'm going to come back with my next guest, Miss Perkins. But before that, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back.
It's time for Bible or Babble. Gather around for your new favorite show. If you little work, show them what you know. Let's go. Bible or Babble. It's Bible. Let's go. Calling every saint, we gon' put you to the test. See who know that B.I.B. a little bitch. Bible or Babble. It's Bible. Let's go.
It's time for you to start bossing in social media. For all your social media needs, you've come to the right place at the right time to get your website designed, landing page, social media platforms, and get the training you need to get in front of the people that's ready to buy your products and services. Let me train you with StreamYard, Zoom, Clubhouse, and much more. And let me help you get your virtual professionals, not assistants, because assistants can only assist you, but the virtual professional can give you that professional flavor that you need to expand your reach and increase your revenue. Jump on in and get in where you fit in and start bossing today.
I want to thank everyone for coming to the 2020 TAF Awards. This was a show like no other, people. This is the Grammys for dignitaries, educators, and support staff around the state of Oklahoma and worldwide. We cannot do this without the support of the people. So we thank you. I thank you for being such a dedicated supporter to this movement for the Teachers Appreciation Foundation. I thank you.
Welcome back to the Coco McMillan Show. I'm so glad that you decided to join us today. We've had a phenomenal guest thus far, Miss Anaya Gibbs, talking about mental health awareness. And my next guest I would like to bring up, thank you to Miss Angela Peace Cord for this referral. Miss Perkins, let me tell you, I had a chance to speak to her, and she is absolutely amazing. She is on the board. She is a board certified physician assistant. She earned her Master's of Health Science from Duke University School of Medicine Physician Assistant Program. She also earned her bachelor's degree in African American Studies from the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. Her interests includes preventive medicine and chronic disease management and women's health. Ms. Perkins' personal medical motto is educate and encourage to prevent. I love that. Educate and encourage to prevent. And she plans to do just that in each encounter. She's thrilled to announce that she will be starting her own practice in the fall of 2022. Yes. Ms. Perkins is she's licensed by the North Carolina Medical Board and is an active member of the North Carolina Association of Physician Assistants and the Triangle Area Physician Assistants. She's married to her college sweetheart, Naeric, and resides in Durham, North Carolina. They have two amazing, assertive, and adventurous daughters, Naya and Amani. Please help me welcome my guest, Miss Perkins. There we go.
Here we are. Coco.
Hi there. How are you?
I am well. All is well. Thank you for asking. How you doing?
Listen, I am doing fabulous. I am living. I'm breathing. Listen, you are here. Anaya was here. I'm happy.
Oh, Anaya. I was back there like, he was amazing. I'm so glad.
Yes, that's very important information about the mental health awareness. So, and then you coming on, just telling us information about you and what you're doing, from Duke University. I love that. So you heard me talk about your bio a little in short term, but I want you to tell the viewers also a bit about you. And I did not pronounce your first name. Could you tell our audience your first name?
I sure will. So my name is Ijama.
Ijama.
Ijama is Igbo because I am Nigerian. Igbo, it means safe journey, safe travels. And so my name is very special because it was the first time my grandmother came to the United States. And on her journey back, my father named me Ijama to wish her safe travels back to Nigeria. So growing up, of course, it gets butchered, and I'm so happy that you always take the time to say it again for me, because that means a lot to me. So I appreciate that. My name's Ijama Perkins. I am a board certified physician assistant. We recently just changed our title to physician associate, and working in primary care for the past 10 years now, 12 years now. Oh, goodness. And started my journey in undergrad at UNC Chapel Hill. I see my Tar Heels on here. My girls, my Carolina's Finest is on the chat. I appreciate their support all the time. And working in primary care, I have learned that you have to really stop and listen to people so that you can really get the story of where their health is. Yes. And so this journey has, over the past 12 years, it slowed me down, which in such a beautiful tone, so that the connection is so pure and so sincere that it feels so natural when I speak with my patients and I understand what they're going through and I can empathize what they're going through. So I have a very big heart for my people. And I just want to make sure that medical motto is so true. I just want to educate. I want to encourage. And I want us to know that there are certain things that we can prevent and have that power to do that. Because so many of us have no idea that certain things can be improved or without medication. And so that wellness piece, that wellness piece is to the core of where I like to practice and where I like to have my patients receive that practice. So yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing. And you said something. You said that I've learned to listen. Mm-hmm. So I guess my question is, what would be the first step? Because, a lot of times, people are scared to talk or scared to tell what's wrong with them or what they think what's wrong with them because, we'll get on social media or get on Google and try to figure out what our problem is instead of going.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, I think the first step in meeting a patient is just the engagement, right? And so that engagement is that, without mask, there's no more big smiles anymore. But that engagement is just giving them the opportunity to tell their story. In the course of medicine now, they're not giving us a lot of time. There's numbers. There's running, see you for 5 minutes, see you for 10 minutes, whatever. And if we do decide that we're seeing someone for this first time, why not listen to their story? Why not take that time? Because I think that's what brings the engagement piece even closer. Then you're able to feel very relaxed to open up and say the things that maybe you didn't want to say prior.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. That's so important. And I think with that, I know with my physician, that was my main thing, looking for someone that I can talk to, that I felt comfortable with, and that I knew that was going to give me the right information or to give me the best advice. Mm-hmm. What would you say, in your, I think you said 12 years, what have been some of the challenges, while working with the patients or just in the industry of the medical field?
Yeah, so great question. I mean, I think life is definitely full of plenty of challenges and, there could be a litany of me complaining, but honestly and truly, I'm trying to get into this habit of we just have to find some little nuggets of contentment. But I think one of the biggest challenges right now that medicine is facing is the burnout. And the title is it can go along any type of field, but the burnout comes from providing care, but still having to go under the scrutinies of corporations and businesses in providing the business too. So, medicine is something that we practice, right? They call it a medical practice. We practice medicine, but it's not anything we perfect. So we have to get into this habit of understanding that it does allow us we need to take the time to talk to our patients. And so that is one of my biggest frustration is, I'm going to make my time. What did you say? I'm going to reclaim my time.
I'm going to reclaim my time, right?
Time with my patients, and I don't want that to be a barrier in my care for them. So, so that's one of my biggest things. And professionally, I think being a physician assistant, a physician associate, there's not a lot of banter about us. Even though we've been a profession for over 50 years, we still kind of are never as seen. And some people don't know who we are, so introducing myself in this platform, but also giving a lot of homage to the first female PA was a Black woman.
Yes.
Out of Durham.
Yes.
So
Whoa.
I know I come before, I come after some pioneers, and that being something that resonates with me in my heart. Janice Nichols, who's out here working for Lincoln Community Clinic in Durham, she started all of this. And so her name, her legacy, making sure the profession gets the attention that it needs, but also showing that we're some of the ones you're seeing in the office. And sometimes you may not know who we are over the years. So I think that's one of the biggest barriers that I want to make sure that PAs get that acknowledgement.
That's right. That's right. It's so important too, because I think a lot of times people, they kind of get it mixed up. They don't know the term. They don't know from the PA, the nurse, the assistant, they don't know. Yes. So, and that's why I love that you said educate. Yes. Educate to prevent, because if you learn about these things, you would know, you would know. So education. Did you always know that you wanted to be in the medical field or doctor? Did you always know that?
I did. And I told you about, I'm Nigerian, and there's a couple of professions you have in Nigeria. It's definitely a doctor, an accountant, a lawyer, and a nurse. And so in my growing up, and I make fun of this, but we were definitely groomed to be in the medical field. Not all my siblings are in the medical field, but it's been a passion for me, mainly because I grew up with making sure my parents also took care of themselves. I'm one of 8 children, and my parents worked hard, and they provided very good care for us and as a family in a home. And I remember coming home and watching mom and checking her feet because she's diabetic, right? Let me see.
Wow.
And so at 11, 12 years old, watching Jeopardy every night at 7, everybody knows me. I love Jeopardy. Tonight's the only night I'm missing just for you, Coco, because I love you. I just know that it was definitely something that I love, because what inspires me is people. People inspire me, because you never know what someone is going through or going to go through unless you have that engagement with them. And so I love that every single day, and not so many days these days, because I have a good patient panel, is that I'm meeting someone new, and I'm giving them compassion and care. And sometimes maybe that's what they needed for that day.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because, I know a lot of times when I do go, I'm stressed out before I even get there. So
well, you need a calm word or a calm voice when you get in there, right?
Right.
They don't want to feel extra on top of what the world is having, right?
Right. So by the time they take my blood pressure, it's I expected that.
You're like, please check it again. Check it again. Check it again.
Please check it again. Yeah, that is so. So are you guys taking new patients? And
Right. So as I was mentioning, and as you mentioned in my bio, after I tell you, God is good.
Woo! Yes, he is.
He is right now speaking to me and just saying, slow it down and make sure that you show your gratefulness. I am so grateful for
Oh my
who
God.
he is in my life. And this is something that I was not very obedient to in the beginning. I never really wanted to be an entrepreneur. My parents were entrepreneurs, and I just was like, "Oh, okay, I'm good on that." But he kept nudging me,
Yeah.
and the calling has always been there. The anointing is there, and sometimes the anointing fluctuates based off
Yeah.
of if you're being as obedient as he wants you to be.
Right.
But after the past 3 years, it is been something that I'm so passionate about. It started off with me. Thank you for putting Tandem Primary Care underneath there, Mr. Mark. It started off with me just really enjoying working with nonprofit organizations outside of work, volunteerism, working with a lot of Black farmers and community organizations, and kind of wanting to say, well, let me just see if I can just give them care that they need.
Yeah.
And after working in Durham for the past 9-10 years, I don't want to lose my people because I love them. And they're
Yes.
part of that transition that I hope to have in my new space called Tandem Primary Care.
Ooh, look at God.
Look at God. Look at God. The space is not always available for PAs to have their own clinic,
Yes.
He's
Oh my God.
he's made the way. And I want to give him honor and glory every single day for that.
Oh, I love it. I think her name is it Javon or Jordan?
It's probably Jovian, my best friend.
Yes. Thank you for your comments.
I know she is.
She said being obedient. That's what I'm talking about. Her and Bridget.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
Yes. Those are my Carolina's finest girls. I saw Maya on here too. Yes.
Maya, yes. And of course, Angela is on here. And I think that's the first time that I met you at the Making It Happen conference.
Yes. You blessed us with a couple of songs, Miss Coco. Everybody was about to take off some shoes and take off because you even have. I remember that testimony that you were with the guy that you were working with who's doing some of the AV. I mean, everybody. Yeah. That was an amazing conference.
Did you see what happened? Oh my God! Yes, that was working the sound. It's just like the Lord I'm getting chill.
I remember that because that right there, we had church.
We had church.
And Dee, who was doing the MC, and she is just blessed. She is anointed too.
Yes.
So yes, that was our first time meeting. And Angela she's one of my angels out here. She definitely pushes me to platforms that I usually don't do. I mean, we talked last night, Coco. What did I say? I'm not on social media. I don't do all that. I mean, I have one, but
girl, I'm too busy taking care of people now. I don't have time for that.
It is one of those things I just keep telling myself in the aspect of trying to grow a business and trying to put yourself out there, but more importantly, allowing people to know that you're here and you want to help. And I think sometimes humility and being humble can come to a fall. Yes. And that's my journey right now. I'm working on I'm not saying not being humble. I want to definitely promote myself. And so I appreciate this platform to be able to talk and engage people to see if they're in need of extra primary care or new primary care.
Yes, I guess it's important, especially for our African-American women. It may be a young person on here today that sit here watching seeing you, and what you have accomplished and, your goals and where you're going and say, you know what? I want to be that person. I want to be like her. That's why we have this platform because, we pay it forward. Iron sharpens iron. I said that early. So a lot of people could be blessed just by your testimony. So I am so glad that you agreed to come on. But I want to ask you something. I want to ask you. So, how you doing, my Shack 11? Don't know the name, but thank you so much for your comments. But I want to ask you something. So, I know that you are a physician assistant, but I want to know something like personally, just the whole journey, going to college, getting your bachelor's, your master's, on these boards. Did you ever have any doubts, any setbacks, any challenges, anything that kind of hindered you from doing it and you jumped back on or anything like that?
Yes, Miss Coco. Yes. And those three girls who are on that chat know the story extremely well. After college, I went to Nigeria and said, I'm going to come back and get a job later, right? And I spent some time with my parents and had a great time with my family. I came back and had no job offers. Nothing, right? So I did a temp. I worked as a temp in Durham for about a year. And then I got on to work as a medical assistant. I worked as a medical assistant for 4 years before I decided to apply to PA school. And when I applied to PA school the first time, I got no admission. None. Not one. And I said, God, is this not what you want me to do? Like, am I not supposed to be here? Am I not supposed to do this? And the persistence just started to twizzle. Just started to just be like, no, I don't think I have this in me right now. Oh. And those nudges that he keeps giving me allowed me to get back up, with lots of support from my friends. The next go round, I applied and I got into the top program in the country.
His timing.
His time. And so my testimony is the fact that if this is what he wants me to do, he's gonna do it for me and do it well. And so as I journeyed and I got to Duke, I had a whole new mindset on life. And that mindset was keep him first. Everything else will follow. Right?
That part.
Right?
Yes.
And so that was a big humbling moment for me because, I made good grades. Why didn't I get in?
Right.
I got all of my things that I needed. Why didn't I get in? Right. And so this is actually something I've never shared on a big platform because only people who know me know that story and know that it wasn't for him changing the trajectory of my life and put me into that program. And this is what it's supposed to transpire to be. He wanted me to realize it's not about you. It's about the path that I want you to be on. And so my work is very connected. There's a lot of spiritually, there's a lot of connection that's going on with me right now and how I transition in my life. And nothing is by chance. I know that for sure. And so in that testimony, that's exactly where I feel as though I'm supposed to be right now. I'm here.
Oh my God. I have chills on my arm. I was like, and I had no idea. I just wanted to ask because, when I look at you, I see greatness, because of what you're doing. You're helping so many people in their lives, mentally, physically. And I keep going back to your motto, educate, teach so you can prevent. So I know that, God has so much for you in this practice, your own practice that you're about to start in the fall. That's just the beginning.
That is just the beginning. Ms. Coco, those words mean a lot to me. So I appreciate it in tenfold, 100%. And I just want to make sure that people out here who, like you said, might be thinking about even another profession, right? Yeah. Might be feeling discouraged. As Anaya was saying, if those things are happening to you, definitely have your crew, have your support, have your tribe, have your God, and make sure that you know where he lives in your life. He should be first. And so when you put him first, he's going to just keep moving you. And I know I'm going to run into some challenges in this new aspect of my life, but I welcome them because I'm armored.
Yeah. That's it. You're stronger now. I mean, they can come like, when we say no weapon formed against me, they can form, but they're not going to prosper.
They won't prosper.
They will not prosper because the journey, the assignment, I always tell people I'm on assignment. It's not about me. You said that it's not about me. Well, once we learn that it's not about us, it's about somebody else, how we can help them, or then God will bless us.
Yeah.
We just got to do our part. And I'm just so thankful. And, just to be a part and just to know you to know you, because I know great things are coming. You're doing great things. I cannot wait until you get into the new practice. I'm coming to visit, all that good stuff. I'm bringing
people to the grand opening as everything gets finalized. I want you there. I want you to be blessed with presence. Absolutely.
Yes. So, quick question: have you thought about? And I know we only got a few minutes, but have you thought about even opening up a practice in Nigeria?
Yes, we have. And I say my sisters might be on here. We have started some process, and mostly right now we just have a land, but we really want to incorporate the give back, even if it is something that we do on a annual basis. We definitely want to make sure we have that connection home, because honestly, home is where your parents are. My parents are home. And so that's where we want to definitely make sure that our legacy continues back home. Absolutely.
Wow. Yes, I love it. One more question. I know I'm just like,
no, I love it. I love it.
So tell me about the two adventurous, amazing daughters.
My heart. So I have a 9-year-old and I have a just turned 6-year-old, and my girls are polar opposites. And so when I walk into the room, when I come home, I get two different types of situations. Understanding that is definitely love there. One is very lovey-dovey, huggy. She's very in tune with her emotions. The other one is she's a preteen right now, so she is definitely working through not showing so much, but being engaged. But my two girls, Naya and Imani, they love when I come home because they're always asking me, "Are you your own boss yet?"
Oh, wow.
I'm like, why does it matter if I'm a boss? So that you can be in charge. So I know that those words are just saying, how's the business coming, Mom? How's it going?
That's what that is.
That's what that is. So I'm so happy to be front seat and seeing their journey and their growth, because as a mom, sometimes we're just we're in it, right?
Yeah.
But when you take a step back and you look, you're like, look at them flourishing. My oldest she loves softball. She's putting her passion into being a really good player. My youngest, she's a jack of all trades, but she's also 6. So she likes dance. She's just such a caring spirit. She wants to volunteer all the time.
Really?
Yes. So I attest that to my husband and my tribe and my family, who just pour into them in so many ways that I'm overwhelmed because of how much they think about my children. So they raising girls,
Yeah. Girls.
Raising girls to women, we're going to work this out. We're going to work it out.
I know I can remember this, and I'm going to let you go, but I remember, I was raised by my grandmother, and I remember one time I said to her, I got mad about something, I don't know what it was, very childish, but I said, I'm running away. Yeah. So that's exactly what she did. Okay. I went behind the house and just sit on this little brick for, a couple of hours. So she, she rose, put the window up and said, hey, what time you coming back in?
I can't. That's how you gotta play with them.
And I came right on in the house.
I bet. It's just, it's very transient. Some of these little attitudes that come through, and it's not here forever. It's not here forever.
Right.
They still need some of that nourishment too.
Yes. So oh gosh, I'm gonna have to bring you back. I know we're running out of time.
Yes.
I would personally want to thank you. Thank you so much for coming on, sharing your knowledge, and you're giving the wisdom for this show. Again, can you tell our viewers how you can be reached, or the where you work, or how they can contact you if they need to have any questions?
So as this moment in my transition, my website is www.tandemprimary.com. You can put in your information on the bottom of the website. Also, you can add an email address. It's going to be info@tandemprimary.com. You can email me on that aspect and let me know if there's any concerns. I do have a Facebook page. I do have an Instagram page. Y'all don't do it. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get better. Next time I come on here, I'm gonna be better. Okay.
I love it. Listen, what's something about you that nobody knows? Something that you like doing that no one knows that you love? For me, it's kickboxing. What about you? It's kind of like your outlets.
My outlets. That's such a good question. I'm glad Jovi's on here because she knows how we were in this phase where what do we like to do anymore? As being young moms, we're like, what do we want to do? Honestly, for me, I really enjoy cooking. And so I cook every day, but this is just kind of like running the mill. But I love the art of food and cooking.
Oh, yes.
And so I want to be doing gourmet stuff. I watch cooking shows.
Ooh, and I love food.
We're gonna be here because you know what I do love. The reason I love cooking is because I love seeing people eat my food, and the reaction and the the warmth and girlfriends and I would get together and we have these get-togethers, and when we see each other eat, we just be like, ooh. So I just something about watching people eat and enjoying food that just makes me happy. So yeah, cooking for sure.
So listen, I'm gonna let you go. We have a quick question on here. It says, well, when are you appearing on Jeopardy?
These are bucket list things. Absolutely. And it's funny. My little one, Imani, she's like, Mom, you can do it. You got Final Jeopardy. You can do it. And so, I don't want to put a time limit on there, but I know I wish I would have gone on before Alex Trebek passed away. But
yeah,
it would have been great to meet him. But I don't know. Keep your eyes out. I'm wearing a little red lipstick. Then you'll know it's me.
And listen, I believe you will win it too. If you've been watching all of those years, I'm sure you, yeah. And knowing the questions, because I'm sitting there watching like, okay, I don't know that answer. Don't know that answer. Don't quite know that word.
That is funny. And I don't know them all, but I be guessing.
Well, listen, Mark said he may have a contact for you.
Mark.
To get on the show.
Look at these connections.
To get on Jeopardy. Look at God, girl. Come on now.
Mark, I'm gonna speak. I'm gonna type the Mark in the chat right now. Like, say what?
Yes, he have a contact for you to get. So, guys, we just gonna go ahead and just claim it.
I love it.
Speak it in the that she will be on Jeopardy. And you know what? When she's on there, when they ask her, who she is, what she do, she's gonna already have her practices with an S.
That's right.
With an S. So thank you again. I know this is our time. So thank you again. Oh my God, this has been so good. So much information that we received from you. And again, your spirit is phenomenal. And we're definitely going to have you back on the show. Any final words?
I can't wait to come back. That's one final word. but I do want people to definitely find a primary care home. It is so important. Prevention is key. And so let's make going to see someone the norm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Coco, she needs a medical show. Oh, you know what?
Hey now.
Did you see? Did you see that in the chat?
I peeped it.
Coco, she needs a medical show on the network.
Wow. You know, Mark is out here speaking things, and I feel like it's all right for me. So I'm with it.
God is doing it. I love it. I love it. So again, thank you. And thank you for everyone that's joining. So we're going to have you back. Thank you so much for coming on the show. God bless you. And I can't wait to see, what God is getting ready to do next in your life, because the best is yet to come. God bless you, Ms. Perkins. Yes. Oh my God, guys. So listen, we've had two phenomenal guests on the show, Miss Perkins and Anea. Listen, we have the contact information was running on the back. Make sure that you contact them, support them. If you have any questions, just send them an email or a text or whatever to let them know. And I'm sure they will respond back to you. So thank you guys so much for watching. I want to remind you again for this coming weekend, June the 25th, our last guest that was on last week, Terrell Harris, will be in the competition for On the Road to the Apollo in Kinston, North Carolina. The doors open at 5 p.m. on Saturday, and the cost is $20. I want to see you there. Let's come out and support this 14-year-old prodigy. I mean, the girl is absolutely amazing. If you had a chance to see the show on last week, she will be there on Saturday, June the 25th, performing, and we want her to win. So y'all come out and let's support Carolyn. So again, thank you so much for watching. Next week, I got my girl Angela Peace Cord that's going to be on the show, the CEO of Making It Happen Conference. So you don't want to miss that show on next week. And as I always say, God bless my pastor, Pastor Melvin Jackson. Also to Pastor Johnson, Asau Community Church in Villa Rica, Georgia. But as I always say to you, keep God first and trust in the Lord with all thy heart. Lean not to thy own understanding, but in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. God bless you, and keep God first. And whatever you're doing, whatever you're going through, trust the process, because what God has for you, it is for you. God bless you.